Hey, what's up, everybody? I haven't done one of these in a while where it's kind of, I guess, a comic hangout, free flowing Fridays. If you see this and you would like to join, you are more than welcome to shoot me a DM, and I am more than happy to send you a link. If I don't know you and you would like to introduce yourself, feel free to also shoot me a link and we can figure it out from there. But enough said there. Again, it's Free Flow Fridays. We're just having a conversation about everything pop culture, everything in between. Just don't bring up the Panthers. They've really kind of killed my night tonight. I'm very upset. They're getting crushed by the Browns. I know, everybody. We don't need to talk about it. I get it. It's the preseason in the NFL, but it's not fun. But having said all that, I got my friend Chris Brown with me. So obviously, how are you, Chris?
As a Brown, I'm like, they should that they won, but no relation. Other than that, we're doing pretty good. How about you, bud?
I'm okay. You know, Shador Sanders is looking really good. He's looking good. I guess Dion taught him how to throw a football. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Playing baseball and football. Who knew? Yeah, it's terrible. It's just terrible. The real question for the Browns is what quarterback are they going to go with in the regular season? And is this a fluke, or is that they're playing just a bad team and therefore that's why they're doing great? Or is it the preseason and really it's all just a fucking test mark? But anyway, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not counting Shador out as of right now, but beyond that, I'm doing good. But yes, please.
Is the NFL as real as the WWE is?
The NFL is $32.5 million richer because of WWE, but that's not the point here.
No, I'm saying, is it as real as the WWE is?
It could be. It could be.
That'll get you a controversial thought for you.
So, I mean, everybody understands that what just happened with the NFL, WWE, and Disney, right?
No, I haven't watched.
Okay, so the NFL sold Red Zone and NFL Network to ESPN for a 10% equity stake in ESPN. ESPN the next day signed a $1.6 billion deal with WWE for their premium live events to be streamed on ESPN Plus or direct to consumer or whatever their streaming service is over 5 years, which basically means that ESPN, backed by Disney, is paying WWE $1.6 billion over 5 years to show WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank, all that fun stuff. So the NFL actually has a vested interest now in WWE to some degree on a media right level, which is crazy if you think about it. They have.
Is that why they're? Go ahead.
That's why last night on the stream in the Seahawks playing the Raiders, there was a WWE reference because that game was on NFL Network. And there's going to be a lot more WWE collaborations with the NFL. There's already been a bunch because why wouldn't there be? And it's kind of cool. Same thing with Major League Baseball. But there's going to be a lot more in the next few years where you're going to see WWE superstars at NFL games. You're going to see WWE superstars opening up and ringing the Seattle bell to open up a Seattle Seahawks game. You're going to see stuff like that a lot more. You're going to see collaborations. You're going to see NFL stars at the WWE events. I mean, you were already seeing it because a bunch of these people are big fans of this anyway. Because if you're, Jalen Hurts, WWE is awesome. Travis Kelce, and Jason Kelce, big wrestling fans, right? Because everybody loves wrestling, but you're going to see a lot more of that being forced because there's a relationship now being formed that is a $1.6 billion plus relationship. It's kind of crazy.
Are they taking it off of? I think it was Peacock. They used to have, so they're taking it off there and throwing all the wrestling stuff onto ESPN Plus.
All of the premium live events, all the pay-per-views.
So all the past.
So Raw is on Netflix. USA Network is still going to have SmackDown. The replay of SmackDown is going to be on Peacock, but WrestleMania is going to be on ESPN Plus. Because the deal is worth $7 million more than what Peacock was paying. The real question becomes, is that what's going to happen with UFC? Because that negotiation, I think, is still going on too. But it's kind of crazy. But this raises questions now where UFC is going to land, because UFC wants $1 billion a year for 5 years. And I don't think it's so outrageous. We all have to remember that TKO owns UFC and WWE. They also own On Location, which books a lot of WWE like events. So, I mean, TKO is an interesting company. They also have relations with the Saudi government, and they're building a boxing league there, which is kind of cool.
I wish I could get $1 billion a year.
I wish I could get $1 billion a year, but
Right.
you know, I mean, look, I'm trying to. I know how to get legitly. I figured out the number to get 200,000 a year, easy. Actually, I figured out the number how to get 5.6 million a year, but it's not fun to do it, and it's really hard. I know exactly how much money you have to invest to do that, to get that return. I know exactly, but I'm a numbers guy, so it makes sense. Now, if the goddamn fucking Panthers won, we would already be there, and we would not be speaking, because I would be on an island in Cancun next to LeBron's island in Cancun. But definitely, I would want Steph Curry on my left side. Because have you seen Steph Curry shoot a 3 lately?
I don't know who that is.
You know who Steph Curry is?
Nope.
Steph Curry is a
Couldn't tell you.
This is
not a sports person.
It's fine. It's fine. So anyway, let's talk about the WNBA. Because I want to have a beer with Sophie Cunningham. That's who I want to have a beer with. And I will bring her a fun object. So for those who don't know,
they should make, instead of foam fingers, they should make foam of those. Just like, run with it. Don't knock it down.
I think
Charlie Kirk from South Park.
I think it's funny. I think it's kind of crazy. I think what's going on. So obviously, I mean, I'll just say what's going on. So they're throwing a neon dildo onto the court. I'll just say it because why wouldn't I, right? So what's going on is that obviously I'm not a big fan of saying we should throw things onto a basketball court, whether it's a rubber chicken or a sex toy. I don't think it's a good thing. I also think, and I'm the first person to say it, that it's not meant to be a joke. It's meant to be derogatory, because the league is LGBTQ, and really an L is what the league is. I believe the league is like 75-80% gay. And I don't mean like gay as in stupid. I mean like the women are lesbians in the league. I would think that the majority of the coaches, from my understanding, are also lesbians or in lesbian women relations. And I think it's meant to be, the object's meant to be an insult. I mean, I really believe that. But do I think it's funny at the same time? Kind of. Because it's absurd. What's going on is that you're throwing a sex toy onto a court, knowing it's going to get a reaction, and it's getting the reaction somebody wants. And who throws a sex toy at a basketball game? But I think they should embrace it. I think I think what they should do is that they should get a sex toy company to become a WNBA sponsor.
The pat.
I don't I think it'd be great.
Yeah, it only need 350 from the NBA to stay afloat.
What'd you say?
I said then they'd only need 350 million a year to stay afloat, from the NBA.
You actually know that number's actually going down significantly in the next 5 years. Me and Pops got into this debate. I don't know if you saw the debate, right? That me and him were having. I said that the league by 2030 is going to be worth 12 to 15 billion. Did you know that?
Why is that?
Right now, there's 13 teams. So as it sits right now, every team is worth anywhere from 250 million to 350 million, if not 400 million a pop. And that's based on the last evaluation of the Connecticut Sun, which was just sold for 325 million. So to put this into perspective, right? If we took, I have a calculator out for a good reason, right? We have to look at this on numerical levels. And I understand people, and I'm more than happy to debate anybody on this topic. So I'm going to be generous. I'm going to say every team. There's 13 teams in the WNBA. I'm going to be generous and say they're 350 million on an evaluation and a fair valuation. And feel free to challenge me if you think I'm being generous. If you think it's lower, I'll go to the lower number. But at 350 million times 13, right now that would sit the league at $4.5 billion valuation. But then we have to look at TV rights. We have to look at merch rights. We have to actually look at evaluation of what players and names bring to it, corporate money, ticket sales, increase of that stuff. So right now, I would actually calculate the league. They calculate the league at about 3.5. I think that's actually low. I would calculate the league at about 6.5 billion off of that. Now, in the next 5 years, there's another 5 teams coming in. And they're all coming in at a $250 million valuation. So that's 1.25 billion that's going to be added to the net worth of the assets of the league with increased revenue. And if we go off of my evaluation of 6.5, that should bring it a little under 8. But if we have growing revenue, even at a 10% evaluation, we're pretty close to 12 billion.
Okay. Now, I'm not a sports person. Okay. Numbers are fine.
I'm going off the money. I'm just going.
That's great. That's great. I'm working on that. Okay. You sell cards, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. You have a card there. Let's say it's valued at quote unquote $450. Okay. That's great. It's valued at it. If you can't sell it, what's it worth? Nothing, because you can't sell it. So I'm saying this. No. Let me finish. If the league is already losing 350 to 400 million a year, they're not profitable. Why would anybody buy something that's not profitable?
So I could answer that question, right? You would buy the Connecticut Sun because you can't buy an NBA team, and the vet. No. What? So
that doesn't make sense.
But it does, and I'll explain to you why. So right now, what's going on is that NBA teams are, in my opinion, overly valued. Right? The Lakers just sold for 10 billion. I don't think the Lakers are worth anywhere near 10 billion. The Boston Celtics just sold for 6.1 billion. I don't think these teams are worth that money. Right? I don't. I think they're valuable. I think they have assets, but I think that the two people who just bought this stuff overpaid for it, right? So and the Minnesota Lynx or the Minnesota Timberwolves are similar, right? I think actually I thought the Timberwolves, I think it was like 2.5 billion. I thought that was actually a reasonable evaluation, right? But 10 billion for the Lakers, no offense. That's a fuck ton of money.
They're not
And
the '90s Lakers.
they're not the 90s Lakers. They're not, I mean, and I get that. So what I think is going on is that I think people are looking at this and saying this is a relatively cheap growing asset that has hyper growth, right? So think of it like you're on the ground floor of a new technology stock that's coming out of the woodwork, right? And the stock is $10. And all of a sudden you could buy Apple for $10. Or better yet, you could buy Amazon for $6, right?
Okay.
So that's what the WNBA is on an evaluation level, is what I think it comes down to. But what I go off of and what I go off of buying and selling teams is the recent sale of the Connecticut Sun, or the proposed sale and what somebody was going to buy it for, which was 325 million. Because that's the only data point I have, and the Connecticut Sun kind of suck. So but what I think people are looking at is that to buy so the Valkyrie were bought for 50 million, and now they're valued at over 250 million. And so if you're an investor, right, and you say, wait a second, there's a lot of people who look at assets and look at growth and want to protect their wealth through equity, right, on the hopes of a bigger exit where they want a 4x, a 10x, a 30x, or you could sell pieces of the equity off later on if you bought the whole thing, which is what a lot of stuff happens. So, the guy who just bought the Lakers actually owned a piece of the Lakers and was a minority owner.
Hmm.
So the Buss family sold pieces of the Laker off as cash exits, but they still were in majority control for a while. So that's the whole thing with this, is that, and it's almost like a private stock. Does that make any sense? So that's why somebody would buy something like this. But now we're talking not about common people. We're talking about people who have billions and billions of dollars or hundreds of millions, and they need other investments that don't fit the norm. Does that make any sense, what I just described?
Sure, but I question the logic of anyone that spends 300 and something million on a WNBA team, because they've been around since '97, correct?
96, 97, yeah, around
And
there.
in those 20 something, 30 years almost, they've never turned a profit. Would you invest in a business that's never turned a profit?
It depends.
No.
I have stocks that haven't turned a profit yet.
Okay. Would you drop 350 million on something that never turned a profit?
I mean, I probably wouldn't drop that much money, but
Right.
I've dropped some serious cash on things. I mean, I dropped 5,000 on a high flyer.
So what makes them think that they are worth this $350 million if they've never made money ever in their entire history?
Where I think
What
it's
now
going. What?
makes that value? Because to me, that original 50 million is more reasonable. Because again, if you're depending on the growth and it's already losing money for you every year, guaranteed.
The 50 million was for the Valkyrie.
Yeah,
That's high for a new team that just came in this year, right? The teams that are coming, I think Portland also might have been 50, but the 4 teams after that are 250 million, right? So I don't think the Connecticut Sun, when they first arrived, was 50 million, right? So I'm sure the Mohegan tribe, because it's the Mohegan Connecticut Sun, owned by the Mohegan Sun, where
okay.
Terrific is at right now. They paid way less than 50 million, right? They might have paid like 20.
Okay.
So if you took 20 million and turned it into 325 million, you did pretty damn good, right?
That's not the point I'm trying to make.
No, I understand. I understand where you're going with it, right? So the reason why, I guess what it comes down to is that it's I think the evaluation is the idea of saying television rights, ownership rights, merchandising rights. It's also the idea that you own a sports franchise, and it's also potential growth, right? So in any business, right, if I'm to buy your business, every business has different standards, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would agree that if I'm buying an airline, it's the value of the assets, and then it might be 2 or 4 or 5x revenue would be a fair evaluation. I don't know I'm making up a number, but
Yeah, right. I understand. Yeah.
so so I don't know the full calculation of a sports team, right? So Steve
Right.
Cohen bought the Mets for I think 2.1 billion. What makes the New York Mets worth 2.1 billion? Or did Steve Cohen say, "Fuck this, I want to buy the Mets and fuck off. I want to own the Mets," right? But I think there's value in the Mets if you hold on to that for 20, 30, 40 years, like or better yet, you own the Yankees, right?
You're making my
It's
point. You're making my point for me. Yankees, even the Dodgers, all of them, they make money. If the NBA itself were not subsidizing the WNBA, would they still be in business today? After 28 years of straight hundreds of millions of dollars a year loss, would they still be in business?
I think they need the subsidy, but
I didn't ask that. I did not ask if they need it. Yes, they absolutely do, or else they would be out of business because they've lost $400 million a year for the last 28 years. There is no way they could stay in business. There's no way they are worth this falsely inflated amount.
I want to look this up. This is actually important to look up, right?
Go ahead. Feel free. I'm not angry by any means. I honestly don't care one way or another, but I just think it's fun to, argue and debate.
WNBA losses per year, right?
Yes.
So they're losing $50 million in 2024.
That's great. You still lost $50 million freaking dollars. You didn't make anything. You still need to be subsidized. Now keep going back. Keep going back. So 50 then.
No, I'm looking this up.
No. Go 50, then you go.
Martin, no. I have to find it, right? I'm actually finding the data. So in the early years, supposedly they only lost 10 million, but it's been calculated that annually it's 40 to 50 million a year. So it's not 400 million, which is important to acknowledge. And what's going on right now, and also this is where it gets interesting, right? In 2026, they're going to have a $2.2 billion like TV deal for a while, which should also help to reduce those losses significantly. So what this is where why you now look and say, why is this investable and why are people looking at it and investing? Exactly. Because all of a sudden now there's a real position where, wait a second, they might actually make money. Now that's up in the air for 2026. I don't know if that's coming, but if you were now buying in for 50 million and in the next 5 years, there's a position where there might be 20, 30, 40 million dollars and there might be a pivot point. Now it's a very different discussion. Is that a fair assessment?
If they start making money, I would see. But as far as I can't. I can't understand because that's not my area. How they are raising the valuation. How they're raising it when they've never brought in a profit.
There's a difference between the actual commission, right, and the ownership of a team. Those two things are different, right? So the people who are raising the price of the sale of the team are the owners. So the owner says, I own this and I've developed this and I'm one of the original teams like the New York Liberty, right? And this has been around for 26 years and I bought it for 10 million and there's some intellectual property here, right? And I'm selling my intellectual property for X. And the objective is to get as much money as you possibly can get, right? So it's not like the WNBA is saying you got to sell the New York Liberty for 350 million, right? It's somebody comes up with a number that they want to sell for, and somebody agrees to buy it because they see value there. And there's an evaluation, and there's a bank evaluation, and there's potential, there's ownership, and there's a bunch of other stuff in there. It's no different than if I buy a card for $10 and I want to sell it for 50, right? It's that it's all agreed upon and somebody clearly has an evaluation component to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I bought a card for $300 and then I listed it for 1,000 and somebody bought it for 1,000. I thought it was high. I was ready to be beaten up at like 800.
Yeah.
So I didn't think the card was worth a G. Somebody else did, and they were thrilled. I was happy. So so that's where I stand on this whole thing. Is that it's the same reason why our the Boston Celtics worth 6.1 billion. Somebody agreed to buy it for 6.1 billion, and I think that if you've been around for 50 years as a the one of the original or an expansion team in the NBA, well, there's history. There's you're owning licensing. You got TV deals. You got championships. I don't know. Like there's some type of value there, and people say, "Well, I'm gonna go buy this," but the Boston Celtics supposedly were losing money. I don't
Really?
know if that. Yeah, that's why the family wanted to get rid of it. Every year they were like losing money on them. But that could be not because the NBA was losing money, right? That could be due to bad management, bad contracts,
Mm-hmm.
overpaying players. It could be a lot of things, right? So a league the NBA doesn't lose money, right? But a team can. But those are
Right.
two separate issues, right? So in the theory, right, the New York Liberty could be making money as a team, but the WNBA could be losing money as a league. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that could also be why somebody says, wait a second, you just made $35 million and I just bought this team for 350 million. If I hold on to this and I'm making 35 million or even 25 million, I hold on to it for 20 years, I'm gonna make 500 million. Why wouldn't I buy it for a 25% discount, right? And in
Mm-hmm.
the process, it can go up, and then I'll also get to take capital out every once in a while, and then I'll sell it to some other person or some other schmuck, and there we go, right? I mean, that's the whole theory. I mean, that's what I think. And I think other people are saying, "Well, I got a lot of money, and here we go," and it just might be a better rate of return than buying an NBA team or a baseball
Mm-hmm.
team because it's cheaper and the returns might be greater on a percentage level. Does that make any sense? I mean,
Sure.
because that's how I view it. But I do think there's also this whole thing where there's a shift going on, where now the potential of this thing being profitable and being more lucrative is also in play. But I know a lot
Anything's
about that.
possible.
What'd you say?
Anything is possible.
I mean, I'll put it this way, right? But also this could be an anomaly. The Fever played the New York Liberty. So Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, Brianna versus Brianna Stewart, New York Liberty. It got 21 million views on a Saturday, just a regular season game. The NBA Finals that night got 26 million views. Now, granted, nobody gave a fuck about the NBA Finals this time. Nobody cared about the Pacers versus the Thunder. Nobody gave a fuck, right? Two bad teams, who cares? But but if we actually look at the WNBA, viewership is down when Caitlin Clark is not playing by
Hmm.
50%. You know that?
Really?
Oh yes, yes. So there you go.
I knew she was popular. I heard of the person. I just don't know. I couldn't pick the person out of a lineup. You know what I mean?
You know who Caitlin Clark is. Everybody knows who Caitlin Clark is. It's not hard to know who Caitlin Clark is. If I said, "Do you know Paige Buchers?" You might know Paige Buchers too. But you might not know Brianna Stewart.
Yeah.
Everybody in America knows Caitlin Clark. It's just the way it is. I don't know how to explain it, right? I'm not saying like you know her personally, right? It's kind
Well,
of
yeah.
like
No.
everybody knows who Aaron Judge is. Everybody knows who Otani is in America. If I say to you Shohei Otani, who's Shohei Otani?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never heard of this person.
So Shohei Otani is like Mr. Baseball on the Dodgers.
Hmm.
So you walk into a room. Most people who don't follow sports have an idea who Shohei Ohtani is, Aaron Judge. They have an idea of who Caitlin Clark is. They have an idea of like Messi. Like I mean like Lionel Messi, who's a soccer player. Like this is not this is like the lexicon of just society. Does that make sense? It's kind of like knowing who Brad Pitt is, right?
Okay. I know Mike Judge. I don't know the other Judge.
Fair enough. But the point I'm making is that, you know, when she doesn't play, Caitlin Clark, the league's viewership in games that she's not even in are down by 50%.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy, right?
Hmm. So are they there for a spectacle, or is it for, or is she just actually that good?
She's pretty good. She's good, but she's also like a lightning rod. I don't know how to explain it,
Uh,
right? Like I enjoy so this is gonna sound crazy. I actually think women's basketball is a better sport than the men because I think it's a team sport. I don't think that I'm not saying the physicality. LeBron James would beat the women's team on both sides of the court easily. I'm not saying that, like there's no question the physicality. If LeBron James to play against Caitlin Clark, she would die. No question about it, right? But the NBA to me, what's happened in the NBA and why I like the WNBA is that the WNBA is a perfect size for these women.
hmm.
The athlete in the NBA has become so much better, so much more muscular. They take 3 steps and they're halfway across the court. Like the court needs to be bigger. These athletes have outgrown the court.
Hmm.
Does that make any sense? The women haven't done it. And that's not and the skill of the women has gotten better just like every other athlete in America. This has because athletes and training has gotten better. The problem is that in the NBA, it's like LeBron is taking the ball in, he's passed, and he takes 3 steps and he's at the basket.
Hmm.
And he can still take another step without getting called for a travel.
Really?
It's
Not,
it.
I think the only one I can remember hearing of after, of course, MJ and Yao Ming, is that one?
Yao Ming, yeah, I think Yao Ming. There was
He was
Yao Ming, Jeremy Ming,
he was one of the really tall ones.
Mhm. But like you got people who are like 7 feet. You got like Evan Mosley. You got Wembenyana. There's a lot of tall people.
I used to like Shaq. Everybody
Yeah,
loves Shaq.
Charles Barkley.
Charles is great.
Have you ever seen Charles Barkley golf?
No,
Oh, you don't you haven't lived yet. He's great. He's
really.
a horrible golfer. He's a horrible golfer. But he's so much fun on like the golf course.
I got to check it out.
He's great. He's like the worst golfer ever. But he has a good time doing it, right? Like that's what makes him great. Oh, it's amazing. My favorite thing is that so Ernie, Shaq, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley have been doing like NBA countdown for almost like 45 years or like 40
Hmm.
years, 30, 40 years. I forget the exact thing, but TNT lost the media rights to it, and it's gone to Amazon, NBC, and uh, shoot, ESPN. I'm sorry. So that show's
Okay.
over. But so the playoffs were the last time they were doing that show together as a group, and it's sad because it was great. They're like your friends when you're watching an NBA game. But the best thing they've ever done is they were discussing Ernie's blackness live on ESPN, and Ernie's white.
Hmm.
And you have Shaq who's black, you got Kenny
Yeah.
Smith black, and yet Charles Barkley is black, and they're all discussing Ernie's blackness.
Hmm.
And Ernie's just standing there, but these guys have known each other for like 35 years. So, but they're doing it, and I mean, ESPN's owned by Disney, and you're like, how did they get away with this? Like, I'm just looking at this, and I'm just like, this is great. This is great. So there you go, right on that. But again,
So
yeah, what were we gonna ask?
Shaq and Charles actually bring me to a another thing, because as I'm sure you might be aware, Shaq owns part of DC, and Charles, being the golfer, they put out a Happy Gilmore 2. So have you seen any movies recently?
Have I seen any what?
Movies recently?
I saw
Any of the
Superman.
new ones?
I saw Superman.
How was it?
I enjoyed Superman. I'll tell you what I think about Superman. I like the fact that we didn't need the introduction of Superman. We all know who Superman is. This movie starts 3 years after Superman made his public appearance. And it was kind of refreshing to say, I don't need you to tell me who the fuck Superman is. I know who he is. Like I'm not an uneducated individual. Like it's fun to have an origin story, but it's also fun to be like, we've seen all of the Superman origins.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the fact that it was good. I thought they did a great job.
So I haven't gotten to see it yet, but of course I've had it spoiled like crazy already. Do you care about spoilers on here?
I don't care.
Okay.
Everybody.
What did you think about them basically turning him into like Jor-El into like Omni-Man's thing where your job, Superman, is to go and bang all the Earth chicks? Honest. How did you feel about it?
I don't know.
I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. I was fine with it.
I didn't care either. I'm like, okay, it didn't affect me one way or another. My favorite part, and this is a spoiler, is I like the introduction of Supergirl into all this.
Really?
I thought what they did with that was brilliant.
Why?
Do you know the joke they made?
It called Superman a bitch.
No. Crypto is her dog.
Right, yeah.
And then he was house sitting because Superman can't get drunk on planets that have a yellow sun.
Right.
So Kara was partying on a planet with a red sun so she could get hammered. And I thought that was brilliant. I thought that idea was so smart. Because it instantly characterized her and set her up for success. And what they did in like 3 or 4 minutes was brilliant. Because they set her up for her movie in that movie and gave the pathway of what we need to expect. And it was brilliant.
She's not perfect, which is nice for once.
It was great. So smart.
Yeah, I was going to go see it today, as a matter of fact, but when I checked the times, nobody around my area is showing it anymore. So I'm like, well, I guess I missed that chance.
I mean, Superman was a massive success, and Fantastic Four, from my understanding, had a good first weekend, but it's falling off.
Which is weird, because I keep hearing good things about it. I heard it's pretty good.
This is the thing. I don't give a fuck about Fantastic Four.
I was never a fan.
Here's my issue, right? My issue is that after Endgame with Avengers, I'm like, I committed to 20 guys of this stuff, 20, 22, give or take.
Yeah.
And I'm done. Like, I'm genuinely done as a person, and with this, and I think you guys went deep, and
Mhm.
it's I'm not asking for a reboot, but I'm just looking at this and I'm like, I committed so much.
Mhm.
2000, what was it? 2008 to like 2000, like 18.
Yeah.
10 years of this. I mean, it was, and at this point, I'm just like, you superheroed me out.
Mhm. That's what Secret Wars is supposed to be, the reset with God, Emperor, Doom, and Battle World and all of that. So
I'm
that's
I'm
that's
I'm tapped out with this stuff.
yeah.
I'm just genuinely tapped out, and I appreciate what they've done. But like, I don't care about Fantastic Four. I'm not even a Marvel guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm tapped out of comics in general.
Okay then. Naked Gun.
That looks a lot of
I,
fun.
I want to see that so bad.
That looks actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That looks great. That looks so much fun.
Yeah. It looks like it's gonna pay the proper homage to the original.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast.
I was rolling. I'm not gonna lie. I was rolling in the commercial when he was talking. Thanks, Dad. To Frank Drebin, and then they went down the line. Then they got to the O.J. Simpson when he just goes, I was dying.
Oh,
I found that was great.
oh man, who played who played the first? Who's the actor who plays? I just saw Naked Gun, the first one, where he's at the dinner party and then he pulls the chair, the woman falls.
Oh, I
There's
don't
so
remember.
many things in there that is just like stupid, like comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck, I can't think of who plays. And like the whole thing's set like a neo noir type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, like the whole thing is great. I mean, I just saw Spinal Tap in theaters.
Oh, really?
Oh, that was great. That was great.
Wait, is there the old one?
Yeah, the old one from like 1990 with Rob Reiner.
Yeah, because I heard they were remaking. I didn't.
No, it's a sequel.
Oh,
It's
it's
not
a
a.
sequel.
Yeah, they're playing one final show,
Nice.
looking for a drummer.
Turned it up to 11.
This one goes to an 11, but just so because sometimes we need that extra, thing, and we can turn it up. But why not just make 10 louder? But this one goes to an 11. Look, don't even look at my guitar. You can't even look at my guitar. Oh, that whole thing. Oh,
Yep,
brilliant. So brilliant in so many ways.
it
And
was
then
good.
the Stone Age thing, and then he goes, and then. So let me explain what happened with me and my friends. We snuck alcohol into the theater. So we all got our drink, our overpriced soda.
Yeah.
I got 6 pocket shots, and we all had to sneak our pocket shots into our drinks while the movie was playing, and we all got hammered while watching it.
That had to make it better.
Mhm. But, like, it was a pretty packed theater, like, there was, like, 80, 90 people.
Oh, I can imagine.
It
Yeah.
was great. It was amazing. And every like, so I go to all these, like, events where they replay movies. So I saw, The Fifth Element,
Mm.
like, it's, like, 20th anniversary. I'm seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for its, like, 35th anniversary. So, I missed John Wick 10 years. I should have went to go see that. But, like, I see all this, like, cool stuff. Like, I saw Blazing Saddles on its 50th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that was great. That was great. My favorite moment in that for, like, 20 minutes is that, "Hey, where are all the white women at?"
Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal. I'm, like, drinking my soda during that, and I almost choked on my soda drinking that. I'm like, when he said that, because everybody's in that movie, right? Gene
Hmm.
Wilder's in that movie. Yeah, shoot, Mel Brooks is in that movie.
Yep.
I believe he plays Hadley, but that's great. My favorite scene also in that movie is, "What are your crimes? Chewing gum? That's not very bad." In the Vatican. kinky. Oh my
I want
god.
to I want to do a Rocky Horror Picture Show where they have the full effects going. That I want to see.
What effects?
When they do the full, like, do you ever do a 4D theater where you're in the theater and then they blow air, they do the bubbles, they do all the stuff? I want to go into a proper Rocky Horror Picture Show showing where they do everything.
I've never been in that, but I've been where people have take the water gun.
Yep.
They throw the toast.
Yep.
I've seen people act out scenes.
Right.
We're all cheering because
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yep.
And that was good. And then they do that with Minecraft now too. Did you know that?
No.
So with Minecraft is very much like Rocky Horror, where there's all this stuff like the chicken dance and other stuff. Like there's all this stuff that's incorporated in Minecraft that's very similar to Rocky Horror. And it's great. I mean, it's a lot of fun what they do. And I think it's brilliant personally because I love, but I've never been to a 4D theater. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I guess I learned something every day. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of crazy. Like you have to do those actually exist?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there was one movie that had rats in it, right? So what they did is they put little spindles on the floor that they whipped around, and it had like little rubber ends on it, so it felt like rat tails slapping against your legs. Just that kind of immersive kind of a thing, you know?
I mean, I've been on a virtual roller coaster. You ever go on one of those?
No.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So virtual roller coaster is the idea where you're a screen, but your seat moves, it vibrates, it goes back, it goes forward. There's like visual effects, there's sounds. Like a virtual roller coaster is fun, but you're not leaving your seat.
Yeah.
But the seat goes back, it goes forward, it can move to the side, so you get some G-force.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're going up something, and like you feel the click, 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 and when you go down, your seat goes forward.
Huh. That sounds pretty fun.
Oh, I mean, it's like $30 a ticket.
Yeah.
And it's like $20, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. One of those you got to experience at least once.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's crazy though. But again, I'm in the process of finding a sponsor for the WNBA.
That would be good. That would be good.
I still want a beer with Sophie Cunningham. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
What were you saying?
With your connections, you can make it happen. I have faith.
But yeah, no. Like I have no desire to see Fantastic Four. I have none. I just don't care. Like it's weird, right? Like for me, I'm just not interested in it. Like I don't know, but
I never liked the Fantastic Four in the comics. They were never my thing. Anyway, so that's why I was never really interested in the movie. I have an issue with Doomsday, and I have an issue with all of that, but that's a whole other topic.
I'm more interested in the X-Men, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think the X-Men collectively are more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It be because there's the issue of mutant kind. There's the issue of what is a mutant, right? Because there's always the question of what is a metahuman versus a mutant.
Yeah.
Is Captain America a mutant? I mean, this because what makes a superhero versus a mutant?
Superhero to me is more the personality. A mutant metahuman thing is more the powers. The mutant is a power you're born with. Metahuman is the power that you get through science or magic or something similar.
So I'll ask you this then.
Yeah.
Do you know Static Shock or Static?
I don't. I remember the cartoon, but that is all I remember from it.
So Static obviously was a comic with the cartoon. Static is technically a metahuman
Why?
because he was exposed to a chemical gas reaction which gave him the power of electricity.
Hmm. So
So that
it was not part of something he was born with. That would not make it a mutation, although you could argue, like you said, the mutation happened later because of the exposure. But because it's not a born thing, I don't consider it a mutant. I consider it more meta.
he's a metahuman.
Yes.
But then again, you also have metahumans who commit crimes.
Oh yeah.
You have humans who like Static are a hero, but
Hmm.
then and this is where it gets complicated, right? But then you also have things like Superman is technically a mutant.
See,
Kind of.
I can't see that. There's nothing changed from his DNA or from his original birth.
Then Superman is a superior being. Then is that a fair position?
That's what I would say. Yes.
You could Martian Manhunter, right?
Mhm.
Is he a mutant or is he just an alien?
He's just an alien, like Superman. He's an alien being like him. Yeah. They
So
just happen to be stronger and be able to do things that we can't.
so what would be a mutant in DC then? I mean, is Beast Boy or Changeling technically a mutant? Because
That
he
that's
caught
that's a good one.
because he was originally a human, he was exposed to something that affected him, and it must have either fused with his DNA, but it's it because I don't consider Beast Boy a metahuman.
Why?
Because I find that it's more DNA based, virus based.
But it was it's not that's the hard part, isn't it? Because technically it is a mutation. You're mutating the DNA, but it's not a mutation that was caused by genetics, which is what mutant was supposed to encompass. So therefore, I think Beast Boy would be metahuman if he was not born with it. Meta.
So he caught a disease, I think, in like either South America or Africa or some like thing, and his parents were doctors, and
Hmm.
then he was like treated, but that's how he got his powers
Hmm.
essentially. Is it was that whole, I guess, mutation of his core that turned his skin green, and then he could transform into animals, right? So like that's but I don't consider Beast Boy a metahuman like Static, right? Or Pyro Man or others, right? I don't consider him that. Where I think there's a separation. I can't explain why. Maybe it just seems it's not like a chemical was thrown on him that forced it, right? It doesn't seem like a man-made thing. It seems almost like nature somehow contacted his DNA, right?
Hmm.
Like Beast Boy, I think you can go either way on.
Right.
Like
I would
Stat,
almost I would almost say that Batman is more of a mutant than I don't know, pick one. If they would say Superman or somebody was one, he was born with the ability or the heightened intelligence for um, crime solving, detective skills, that kind of a thing. Um, built, born with resilience to. Now again, it's all it
would
is heightened human ability. I get it.
would you make the same argument for Lex Luthor?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you make the same argument for Amanda Waller?
Yeah, she is
Amanda Waller
a
is
she
complicated.
has a high level of
I
planning and
love
manipulation.
I love Amanda Waller. I do not think Amanda Waller gets enough attention. But these are complicated issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they are not traditional mutants like I would say. Like Iceman was born with it. It just didn't activate until they hit a traumatic event in puberty. It was something that outside chemicals had to happen, like with Daredevil.
This is fascinating. This is such an interesting conversation.
I hope it gets something.
I don't know. I don't know though. I mean, Iron Man though. I mean, Iron Man's not a mutant, right?
No, no. But his brother Arno might have been considered one. That's a whole different thing. No, he again would be just ultra intelligent. You know, like my highest tested IQ was 165. Okay, humble brag, I know. I wouldn't be considered a mutant, but I would be considered on the rather intelligent scale.
Yeah. So. I mean, how do you feel about Sherlock Holmes? Sherlock Holmes is
Again,
a highly intelligent individual, and
Moriarty.
Moriarty probably the same thing, right? So it's like just because you have high intelligence doesn't mean you're a mutant,
Nope.
and just because you're a mutant doesn't mean you're good or bad, right?
Right.
Like Magneto controls, metals,
Mm-hmm.
but like the Flash, right? Like I don't know how we calculate the Flash. I mean, is the Flash were those? I mean, those powers must have been intrinsic, right?
I don't know. That's just it. Once you get into the Speed Force connection thing, then it gets more into mystical than mutagenic. But it was activated by the chemicals mixed with lightning. So,
what about Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen?
You want brutal honesty? I've never seen Watchmen. I've never read the book.
You've never read Watchmen?
No, I know. I should be flogged.
Wow.
I know of the character, obviously. With the Adams.
I mean, the Adams, and then he was exposed to like a nuke reaction that kind of turned him into this thing, and then he was the Manhattan Project kind of thing with like watches and stuff. And that's why this becomes interesting, right? Is that I would consider him a metahuman.
Was he born with the ability?
He was not, and he was exposed to essential radiation, and somehow his DNA adapted to that, and it worked, right?
Yep.
So he and then he had like this power, and then he could split himself, and he do all this cool stuff, right? Like
that would be metahuman, yeah.
Versus the comedian who is just like a mercenary who just is good at fighting and doing shit and killing people. I
never understand Rorschach. Like, was he just a dude?
Yeah. He's just a guy who's just really intelligent and is just good at fighting and just is like a sociopathic kind of individual.
Like a short Batman.
Except he's more warped.
Oh, really?
Rorschach, right, is a warped character. I mean, really warped. Great character. I love Rorschach.
I'll have to read it once.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like V for Vendetta, right?
Mm-hmm.
I or V for Vendetta, Watchmen. What else? Lost Girls. Oh my God, Lost Girls. So Lost Girls is crazy. Think about this, right? This is the premise of Lost Girls. You have Alice, who's 60, Wendy, who's 40. Alice is a lesbian who sold the mine, and now she's never been with a man before, and she's 60, sort of at the end of her life, right? In the final stages of her life, the final chapter. Wendy's 40, married to a man, has a son in college, and then Dorothy is screwing everything in his 20 and is escaping Kansas. They all wind up in a hotel right before World War I, like 6, 7, 8 months before. Obviously, Dorothy is having an affair with one of the guys. Wendy is enjoying a man. Alice is enjoying, to some degree, Wendy and Dorothy. And there's them all becoming friends, becoming intimate, having stuff going on, enjoying each other as friends. Other ways, they're enjoying men, minus Alice. And then There's erotica components. There's the outbreak of war. There's just enjoying stuff. It's about relationships, and it's all about trying new things with everybody. And pretty much, it's on the brink of World War One breaking out in like 1917.
Hmm.
I think World War One was what, 1917, 1916, 1917, right?
Yeah.
Around there.
I wonder why he picked. I mean, the obvious Wendy, Alice, and Dorothy from the other stories.
What happened to these girls that we grew up with after their stories ended?
Oh, okay, that's what that is.
And then you get the 3 generations, right? So Alice is generation 1, Wendy is the middle,
Yeah.
and you then have Dorothy, the 3rd generation, right? So you have separation between it. You obviously have Alice and Wendy are British. Dorothy's American. I mean, it's really a brilliant book in so many ways, and it's truly a brilliant concept. And I can't describe Lost Girls because if you took out the erotica of it, it'd be brilliant just the same. The erotica of it only adds and only provides further depth to what's going on. And it was illustrated by Alan Moore's wife.
Really?
So it's a brilliant book. It's like $50 hardcover, beautifully illustrated, heavy book to read. Heavy book. Makes you think a lot about a lot of things. And it makes you say, "Cool, what happened to Wendy?" Makes you question versions of Captain Hook. Makes you question if Peter really is the good guy. Makes you question what really happened to Alice. Is Dorothy really this sweet little girl, or does she want to screw everything that moves? A lot of questions. And we find, and not to get too deep into it and not to ruin it, but brilliant book because it raises a real question. And like I said to my mom, I understand you might not like the nudity in it, but you should read the book. It's really a brilliant book. It's I think it's one of Alan Moore's best.
Wow.
But I don't think it gets the correct attention because, well, V for Vendetta, Watchmen, From Hell kind of overshadows it.
I forgot about From Hell.
Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Alan Moore's Killing Joke, right?
You know what? I'm gonna look that up.
I think Alan Moore did Killing Joke. But like that's the whole thing is that
Alan Moore. Yep.
So yeah, I mean it's just there's just a lot of crazy shit in there.
So let's go from exceptionally deep to surface level. You know what you're getting. Have you seen Absolute Batman yet?
I've read the first few.
It is a popcorn movie style book.
Oh yeah.
I liked it.
I enjoy what they did with that.
I didn't read Absolute Superman yet. Not that I have anything against it. I just haven't had a chance to read that one. I think they did Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Wonder Woman, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. I mean they've done. I know they did Wonder Woman. I know they did Superman. I know they did Batman. I don't know if they did Green Lantern. I don't know. I didn't see Green Lantern.
I could have sworn, but yeah, guys. If I remember it right, it's getting late anyway. No, I think they're pretty neat. I like them.
Well, at least it wasn't a disaster today.
Right.
I didn't completely screw myself up today. Gambling.
Yeah. Oh, you did okay?
I mitigated damage. Let's just leave it at that. Oh, fucking painful. Oh.
Some days it's all you can do.
Oh, fucking painful as fuck. it is what it is.
Yeah.
I I mean,
People I don't get.
it's just it's whatever. You know, I got 3 days of preseason, and what I should be able to figure out a problem with a few of these games pretty quickly.
Mhm.
It's not hard to make back a $500 loss
Oh, yeah?
if you know what you're doing. It's not hard. Um, it's I just about broke even. Let's just leave it at that. Um, but it definitely is not the end of the world. Frustrating as it is. Um, definitely was not expecting that on my bingo card. Um,
Hmm.
definitely Cleveland shocked me. Is a good way to put it. Um, oh shoot, I sold another item. That's good. Um, but yeah, that definitely shocked on that one. But I enjoyed Absolute Batman.
Hmm.
Um, I thought Absolute Batman was decent. But again, I'm not even reading many comics right now. I'm on
No.
an anime kick, man. I'm on an anime kick, and I'll be honest, I find comics to be fucking expensive. I find the hobby to be freaking ridiculously expensive. And I find a lot of things to be ridiculously expensive.
So what's your go-to anime now? If you
I
were to say
mean,
you only get one today, that's all you can watch. What do you watch?
oh, what am I watching?
Mhm.
Um, Probably watching Rise of the Shield Hero.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the premise, right? Four heroes are summoned to a world.
Mhm.
Three of them are revered as gods. The fourth one is the shield hero. He is winds up getting swindled by like a princess to the queen. He gets accused of basically sexually assaulting her, gets banished, and then he goes on like a tirade essentially. And what he's doing is that he's slowly building, his levels up, learning stuff, doing some cool stuff, and eventually he clears his name of the whole thing that happens, and he's on a journey to become the strongest out of the bunch to fight off waves. And he's like admonished at first, and then he becomes revered as a hero. And that's like all of this. And he's like, I don't want to hang out with the three of you guys ever. And I'm gonna go do this on my own and beat all these waves back. And this is his journey, and it's great because the first episode, it's like he's accused of basically, raping the girl, and they're you, and then it's all about him getting revenge and kind of earning the respect of people and realizing that this whole thing was fake. and,
Hmm.
and, and it's a very interesting show because it's definitely pushing lines that it's pushing back against a political narrative. I think of that. Not to say that we shouldn't believe people. I'm going to get us in trouble for this, but it definitely pushes it back against that narrative that not everything is believable and not everything should
Mhm.
be believable. And it's really interesting, and there's a lot more of that coming. An anime. I don't think people realize that anime is actually becoming more conservative.
Oh, really?
It's becoming more conservative and more adult. I just watched two shows that were very adult. So there was nudity in the shows, and there was some other stuff in the shows that was adult, but it wasn't porn. It was adult. So having a girl topless doesn't mean it's porn. It just means it's an 18 plus show, much like a rated R movie.
That's what I
And
was gonna say. What did you mean by adult? Was it more the theme, or was it the?
it's so basically it's time travel, and the guy basically has to take off this girl. She takes off her pants and she go rewind time. She takes off her bra, she go rewind time, and he has to change it. And there's sexual themes while they're basically developing romantic feelings for each other during this whole thing.
Hmm.
So but like he's like terrified to see her breasts and stuff, and like there's some of that in there, and it's funny, but it's not porn. It,
Hmm.
it, it it's not. It's adult. It's obviously relationships and there's stuff like that. But then there's also stuff that I've watched where it's like great, it's just like it's adult stuff. Like a girl's fighting. It's like a fighting anime, and the girl like shirt falls off, and she continues to fight. So her breasts are out, but she's in the middle of fucking sword fighting. Like, what do you want her to do? Like, yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's like, but like that wasn't in play 3-4 years ago.
The last I saw was the first season of Attack on Titan. I was watching it with my kid because he liked it, and then he moved out, and I haven't seen anything since. And that was years ago.
Nah, so like that, but Attack on Titan is very conservative if you think about it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very conservative. So it's about government. It's about governing. It's about liberation. It's about democracy versus kingship versus tyranny versus oligarchy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, if you look, I mean, I don't know how far you got in the show, but there's the idea of how you govern people. Do you govern people and put titans in the wall to protect people, and people live their lives, and they don't know any of the wiser, and you wipe away their memories every 50 years so that there's no revolution because there's an outside force trying to deal with you and do shit to you, and that this whole city was formed because somebody ran away because they didn't want to fight a war. I mean, and then the royal family wipes away memories, and they have these titans in the wall as a defense mechanism, almost like a nuke weapon. I mean, it's a very interesting show if you break it down.
Yeah, like I said, I only saw the first. Maybe I didn't see the full first season, but I didn't know about any of that.
And then when you get to the second and third season, I mean, there's civil wars going on. There's issues of government going on. There's a discussion between the Survey Corps and the military police.
Yeah,
and there's governance issues and running.
The animation they do is absolutely fantastic. You can't argue about it.
I mean, anime is not. I mean, this is why I have a problem with Matt Walsh in many ways from the Daily Wire. He's like, oh, these anime weeboos. And I'm like, I don't think you've seen an anime show, dude. Like, I agree that there's some ecchi kind of, adult hentai things that push the line and fan service and suggest certain things. But there's also stuff that it's like, we're talking about some real complicated shit here. I mean, if you're talking about governance and what is best for the people and kingship versus democracy and the consequences of both, Attack on Titan is that.
Mm-hmm.
You look at a show like Code Geass, where you have Britannia, which is kind of the U.S. running something, and you have somebody who is in Japan who wants to liberate Japan and is staging a rebellion. I mean, the Lelouch is staging a rebellion and leading a group called the Black Knights to challenge the king and his father and liberate a position. And then he chooses to become an emperor and become a tyrant and ultimately stages death for liberation purposes. Sounds very similar to this little thing that was written in, I think, like the 90s called House of Cards.
Never saw it.
You also have something called Battle Royale.
You
ever hear of the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Battle Royale is 42 students, 21 men, 21 women have explosive collars on their neck, are on a secluded island with cars. Everybody's assigned a weapon of some type, whether it's a tracker, a gun, an arrow, whatever it is. And now what you have is that you have 3 days to kill each other, all while being advertised and put out on television in Japan. And what happens is that every 6 hours, an area is off limits, and it becomes a dead zone. That if you step into it, boom, you
Oh, okay.
you automatically get killed. So it's Lord of the Flies meets A Clockwork Orange.
Hmm.
And this is like the Hunger Games on steroids. This came out before the Hunger Games in 1990
Mhm.
ish. There was an anime, and then there was like a live action, and it's one of Playboy gave it 5 bunnies on a review. Playboy doesn't review manga all that often,
Hmm.
but like Playboy highly rated this thing, and I mean it's a sick manga. It's like 15 volumes,
Hmm.
and like but it raises questions about governance. It raises questions about a lot of stuff, and like you have like 5 girls figuring out what they want to do. You have people trying to beat the system back, and then you have a character who purposely hacked into the system so that and he survived the first round 6 months ago, and then he's back for a second round because he wants revenge for having to kill all of his friends and being the sole survivor. And so he wants revenge on the person who's running it.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I
That
mean, what?
sounds kind of like the Squid Games borrowed a bit from that too.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, everything's borrowed from Battle Royale. Battle Royale is like the Hunger Games on steroids times
Hmm.
50. I mean, you have 41 students, and what you learn is that some of these kids are really fucked up. Like, you have the son of like a yakuza boss on this island, and like you have a girl who is definitely involved in the mob, and like she was having an affair, and she
Yeah.
killed a guy in a certain way where she put a razor blade in a particular place so she could do some damage to him. I mean, you got some fucked up shit in this book. And then when she kills somebody, she goes ape shit crazy. And like and you're dealing with crazy shit with this. I mean, this is no longer how do I say this? Um it's definitely a fucked up book. It's a good
Hmm.
way to um really, 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 really smart book.
Hmm.
Definitely, but like that's my problem at Walsh is that anime and manga, there's some crazy shit, and it's become more conservative.
Yeah.
I think in the last 5 years, because and I think even media to some degree, and I know people are going to disagree with me, and they're more than willing to challenge me and have a discussion, but I think media collectively is actually shifting. I mean, you feel free if you disagree with me. I'm not saying it's gone from
Right.
being 90% liberal to being 90% conservative, but I think if we were to say that it's
Mhm.
80-20 in the last 5 years, I think there's been a 10% shift.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, with things like even Invincible, I would say is almost that way. Reacher, of course, is absolutely. Um, there are quite a few shows where even if it's not overtly switched, it's not forcibly pushing one side or another. In other words, it's just some of them are actually finally just letting the story be good stories instead of a tool for a message, with whatever side it happens to be.
I mean, we look at an anime like One Piece. One Piece is very libertarian. It is not liberal.
I
You,
tell you.
the reason why it's not liberal is that Luffy is an anarcho-capitalist. So he believes in absolute freedom and opposition to the world government. And other pirates, when they take land, they put up their flag and it becomes their territory. Luffy doesn't take territory. He believes that people should be absolutely free and not have any government control. And
Hmm.
he's extremely oppositional to the government, and he wants to liberate lands from world government ties. And if we look at him, and not through in One Piece, but he is called the Mika Mika Sun God, which is a rare devil fruit, and it's like the fruit of joy. And so he is the core of freedom, right? And he doesn't like any type of suppression. That I wouldn't say it's conservative, but it's definitely not liberal.
Mhm.
It's libertarian. One Piece is
Hmm.
a very libertarian show. And it's important to acknowledge that One Piece, when we look at things like One Piece versus a show like Naruto, Naruto is very governmental. You have ninjas going on missions issued by the Hokage, who is your governing factor, and you are fighting other nations in these missions and in these wars or these semi-wars. In One Piece, Luffy's like, "You're being suppressed, and I want to free you from your suppression." That's a very different anime, but it hasn't. I mean, it's now more known than ever before
Hmm.
in One Piece. But
Yeah, and I heard the Netflix show is actually pretty good.
oh, it's fantastic. But like that's where this gets really interesting, right? Is when you start having things like this that are put out there that definitely change stuff that's going on.
Mhm.
But I digress. I mean, it's just that media has shifted. I also think people are waking up, and I also think that, and I'll say this very openly, is that people who were liberal 10 years ago were 18 and now they're 28. And
Mhm.
as you get older, you say, wait a second, the ideas that I've had, they start to change. My ideas in my 20s are not the same as my ideas in my 30s. Just because a woman should be in the kitchen doesn't mean that idea. No, no, that's just terrible. That's a terrible joke. Um, what? Going beyond that joke, um, but my ideas of, I mean, in my 20s, I was way more of a Democrat, and way more liberal, and I'm now a lot more, libertarian, conservative, because I've seen the way the world works, and my
Mhm.
income changed. When you're broke in your 20s and you have money in your 30s, and you say, wait, what the fuck? I'm paying 50% taxes. What the fuck? That's
Mhm.
so. But I
You're paying
digress.
50% taxes, and you're not getting anything out of it. Yep.
So that's part of it. But I digress. But I do want to talk about, how do you feel about game building for comics?
How do I feel about what?
Game building for comics.
Um, hmm. It's an interesting concept, and it's possible. I've done it. Uh, as long as you are really actually going to be involved with it.
That's a joke, by the way, because I know you're working on something with a lot of people.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, we will talk about that then. Oh, I got to talk to you about something else too, but I can't do it on here because it's not supposed to be out in the open. Not just my
No,
OnlyFans.
I'm sorry, Chris. I am happily gonna be engaged in 6 months. I know you're disappointed, um, but I'm sure there's somebody for you out there. Oh, I'm sure of it. I understand your frustration. I understand how difficult this will be for you. I am sympathetic to your cause. I understand your pain. I
Mm-hmm.
know that being lonely is not fun. I understand. I've been there many a time, particularly at night. But you will find somebody who is right for you when the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of ideas here. It's just like South Carolina learned today, or North Carolina, or the Panthers. I think they're South Carolina, learned that they just lost to the Browns.
Yeah.
It was very upsetting for me. I mitigated damage though, but I'm not fucking happy with them. Oh, oh, that was a painful situation. Um, but but damage was mitigated significantly. Um, in many a way, and I just wish that it was a better circumstance. But definitely damage was mitigated. I think it was at the very
Mhm.
least. Um, but it's life. Um, $500 is not that hard to deal with during football season. $500 loss is going to take like a day and a half. Oh, I just have to figure out. I don't think Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to beat the Giants, but I could be wrong tomorrow. But anyway, I digress. Um, I don't know. Is there anything else we need to cover that's controversial?
Uh, no, I'm pretty good for now. I mean, there are things that I don't want to get you in trouble for, so I won't say them. But
You could say them. I don't care. This is free flowing Fridays. I don't care. And what's the worst that's gonna happen to me? Just, yeah, genuinely, like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
yeah,
I mean, I speak my mind all the time. I don't care.
more people have been killed by a vending machine this year than have been arrested from the Epstein files. That's all I'm gonna say.
That does not surprise me.
And it's quite angering.
I mean, look, it is more people have died from ants than have been arrested than have died
Yeah,
than have been arrested in connection
yep,
with the Epstein file. In fact, more people have opened up a bottle of water. I could keep going here. I could keep
yeah.
going. I
More
mean,
people have played Matlock than have. Yeah,
I heard Texas has a new resident, but not the point.
yeah.
Whoever her lawyer is, God bless him. Um, that's a good lawyer. Um, maybe they should move Diddy there too.
Right.
Yeah, baby oil for all of us. By the way, I am so thrilled that he beat back that crime. Not because I think he's a good person, but because he did not deserve to get caught for blowing up that car. He was nowhere near setting Cuddy's car on fire. He's innocent of that charge. And I will die on that hill and I will go out in an explosion.
I mean, all that baby oil was just for a good slip and slide, right? It wasn't for anything untoward.
I don't know about anything else. I'm just saying he's innocent for blowing up a car.
Yeah.
If I was his lawyer, I would. I mean, I have the defense for the Luigi Maggione case too.
Hmm.
It's called the Luigi Mansion defense. He was gifted a mansion and there was ghosts in the mansion. Wouldn't you go crazy too?
Yeah.
You're gifted a mansion you won in a prize. You're
They
so
tried.
excited. You just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. And then some fucking professor gives you a backpack that's a vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum cleaner. Yeah.
Clean your goddamn mansion up. And it's like, I just fucking won it. Why don't you clean up the goddamn mansion? And he's like, no. And you go in there and the ghosts try to hurt you. And then you got to deal with the mom, the dad, and the baby. And it's a boss fight. And then if you don't collect enough pearls from it, your fucking picture of them is not great. And there you go.
Hmm.
And then you look like a slob in your gallery. I would go crazy too.
Unacceptable.
I'm not even a lawyer, and I think I can get him off. I
And win the case.
think I can get an apology from United Healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go admit myself into Harvard, and then I'll go work for a law firm, and we will pretend that I'm a lawyer, and we will pull a scam.
What was it? I can't
I
remember.
believe this is a good idea. If it worked on TV, it could work in real
Mm-hmm.
life.
Yeah. Let me know how that works out. Let me know how that works out. I'll keep an eye on it.
I mean, he spent 3 years in jail, 3 months in jail. That's a pretty good trade-off for 9 seasons of TV. 3 months in jail were in the TV show, so it's even better. I enjoyed Suits a lot. A little too much, to be honest.
Is that where is that the show where the quote "I don't think of you at all" came from?
The what came from?
The quote that I don't think of you at all. I can
I
never
don't
remember where that quote came from.
I don't know where that came from. That's a good
They
question.
were in an elevator, and the one guy's like, you ruined my day, you ruined this, you ruined that, and the guy just looks at him. I don't think about you at all. I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't
Also,
know. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
my two favorite shows are back. I will say South Park and Beavis and Butthead. I can't wait to get into them again.
Here we are with the He-Man supplements. That was great. That was a good episode. The Charlie Cartman doing. I'm masturbating, Mom. I'm masturbating. These hot college chicks. Oh my god, that was good. Did you see Charlie Kirk's reaction to that? He thought it was funny.
Yeah, and that's just it. That's what you got to do. Like with the WNBA, with those places, he embraced it. He made Cartman his avatar picture, right?
I was watching somebody on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, South Park really got the Republicans in their lifestyle." I'm like, "What fucking are you smoking?"
Yeah.
I
Oh, he's
don't.
got his balls.
I think that South Park. I don't even think even when they're making Trump and they're making Trump have like a small little pee. Like I don't think even Donald Trump is all that upset about it. I don't even think he cares.
No. The only thing I didn't like about it was because it was done before. Like, yeah, we saw this already, guys. Come on.
What I didn't like was Clyde's position on like the Jew thing. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
That I didn't get. I didn't get the comedy there. I got Cartman going ape shit. Ever steal my shit? Stop doing this. This is mine. Like
Yeah.
he beats the shit out of Clyde. He goes, what Heidi abortion? And like he changed it immediately with that. And then he's like debating all this stuff and he's doing all this stuff with like the Bible and Leviticus.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. I thought they nailed it perfectly. I thought they were doing some funny stuff. But Clyde hating the Jews, like I didn't get the comedy with that. Like and look, it's not a secret that I'm Jewish, and that wasn't even the
Wait, what?
problem. I make jokes about Jews all the time to all my friends. I think what they do with Kyle and Carmen is great, but like I didn't get it. To me, that joke missed.
And I think you hit on why it missed, because that was always Cartman's thing. He was always the outlet for that kind of humor, and Clyde was never that. He was. I don't know. I didn't.
I don't know. I don't even think it was that either, right?
I didn't get 1 point something billion dollars. Did I freeze or did you?
I don't know. You said you stopped in the middle, like you cut off in the middle, but like I just didn't get. Again, even if Cartman said the thing about the Jews and he was debating the Jews on the Charlie Kirk thing, like to me, it wasn't mocking Charlie Kirk. Because Charlie Kirk has never ever said anything of that nature, and that's what I didn't get. Right? I thought they nailed Charlie Kirk pretty well. I thought they made fun of him a lot. But like the Clyde Jew thing, like that to me was out of left field, right? So even Cartman with like Butter said, "Why are bagels yummy?" Right? Like that was funny to some degree, but then Clyde
Mm-hmm.
the Jew thing, it was just like it wasn't even funny. It was just like the Jews are evil. There was no joke.
Yeah.
There was no joke, and that's what I didn't. That's what I didn't get. Is I didn't get the concept of that part. I got everything else. I understood what they were doing. I appreciate the master debater joke. I'm master debating
Yeah.
in the bathroom, Mom. I'll go to
Mm-hmm.
bed now, Mommy. And then Carmen goes right back to master debating instead of masturbating. He's master debating.
I got it.
Like all that was great. But like, and then they were making fun of Alex Jones with like the He-Man supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but like that Jew thing, just because I watched it, I'm like, that's the part that I didn't get. Of all the stuff in there, I'm just like, what was this about?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
again, I thought it was
As far
brilliant.
as and as far as people out there screaming like, "Oh, the right is so angry about this," I'm like, "Yeah, I just don't no, I'm not. I thought it was funny as balls," you know?
I thought it was hilarious.
Again again, most of it, like you said, there are some parts that did not hit, but
Like,
you'll have that one.
yeah. I'm not canceling my Paramount Plus or my Comedy Central for that one little joke. I didn't get the joke. Like I'll make a joke, right? Like I was speaking to my friend. He's fostering a mother cat, and she just had kittens, right? And he's fostering the mom, and so I said the cat's getting adopted, and she's not going to be out on the street looking for a man cat, like in a few weeks. And like my friend just started laughing hysterically. He said she's a very pretty cat, and she's going to be, spayed. And I said, okay, that's good. So she's not going to be out on the streets in a few weeks looking for a man cat.
Mhm.
Ever. And my friend just started laughing hysterically. And I'm sure that my friend and me had different political points, but that was a funny joke, right? Because the joke hit. I was treating the cat in a unique way.
Mhm.
They said the cat's 2 years old, Andrew. And I said, I understand that, but like nonetheless, like I said, so she's not gonna be out on the streets in like 2 weeks, right? Looking for a man cat to take care of her. And I was also making the joke where are you looking for the father to get a paternity test? Should we call
Hmm.
Morty or Steve Wilkos for this job?
As
You
in
know who Steve Wilkos is and Morty, like you're not the father.
yeah, I knew yeah, I
So
knew
what we'll
Maury.
we'll get Steve Wilkos out and he'll have the cat take a lie detector test. So like my friend just started laughing hysterically because that joke hit, right? But like that's the problem is that Jew thing
Mhm.
just I didn't get it. And look, maybe I didn't get it. And somebody wants to explain that Jew component. Even if it came from Cartman, it still wouldn't have gotten it for me. I didn't get everything else I got. So I clearly missed that component. But I digress. But
Mm.
obviously, I think we covered everything. So what could
Yeah,
be
we did
here?
pretty good.
Now that we have no friends, and now
Yeah,
that free flowing Fridays are back,
yeah.
so yeah. So where can people find you?
Uh, yeah, I'm Laughing Rogue on pretty much everything. Laughing Rogue PA on the X. Um, Laughing Rogue Games on the Facebook thing if I ever keep that up. And Laughing Rogue YouTube, pretty much where I'm at. I'm always on some kind of show or another. I'm going to a convention on August 23rd and 24th in Allentown, PA. You can drive it. Speaking of conventions, you know what I'm going to talk to you about. You know what I'm talking to you about. All right, go ahead. You can go.
Oh yeah. So this is obviously I'm pretty pop anime comics is what I do. I'm working on a new graphic for this show. Instead of conversations in pop culture because I'm too lazy to change it. But I am pop anime comics on the Twitter, the X. I am pop anime. So if you want to hear me complain and cry about football, that's where I'm at. Um, if obviously Instagram is pop anime comics, Facebook is pop anime comics, YouTube is pop anime comics, TikTok pop anime comics. I run an eBay store, pop anime comics. So the graphic for that is right here. Look for comics and collectibles. Come shop with us on eBay, pop anime comics collectibles. And I sell a lot of cool stuff like this in my store. I sell cards like this in my store. I sell stuff like this in my store. I sell stuff like this in my store. I tend to sell books like this
The
and this in
blank.
my store. So, and then I sell like stuff like this in my store also. So stuff like that, I tend to sell. So if you want to go buy stuff like that, I got you covered. I also sell like $4 cards. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sell stuff like this in my store too. So, this stuff like this all the time. So baseball cards, um, or something like this right here as well. A lot of stuff like this. So, if you're looking for baseball cards, I sell anything from $4 cards all the way up to $2,000 cards. So there is something for everybody in my store. And if you're looking for something and I will show everybody that what I'm probably going to list in a few days is this, which is a 101. So it is football season, and I do have 2 or 3 of these coming out that are
Who's that?
101s. It's a Jalen McMillan on a Tampa Bay rookie card of studio rookie, so it's a 101 card. So I don't know what I'm actually gonna be asking for it. Um, but it's cool because there's only one of them. And that's why it's valuable, and it's a rookie 101. And then I
Hmm.
have a Bucky Irving, who is a running back, which I'm also probably gonna be listing up. So there you go, right? So this is also a 101. As you can see in the back, it does say 101 in
Yeah.
it. So, they're expensive cards. I think I'd be asking like 350 for it. So maybe even more. I actually have to look at what I want to get for it, but they are 101 rookies, and that's the thing is that it's hard to figure out pricing on that stuff. Um, and I do have another 101 that I'm debating if I'm going to sell it because I kind of like it. And but this is the type of stuff I sell, and the reason why I'm showing all this is that this is a captain card, Matthew Stratford, quarterback on the Rams. So
Hmm.
again, this is also, as you can see, that back of the 101 in the back. So yes, stuff like that does appear in my store all the time. So if you are looking for rare stuff, I do carry a lot of that in
So
there.
you said you were debating. Were you master debating?
Very much. No, on the Jalen, whatever Millen card and my Bucky Irving, those are definitely going to be up there.
Nice.
The Matthew Stratford, it's complicated because I like him as a quarterback. He's a solid quarterback, and it's a cool card. And not everything I buy I want to sell.
Hmm.
And also I'm debating, depending on how the Rams are, because there is advantageous times to sell cards, and I don't know where Matthew Stratford is going to be. But I could care less about Bucky Irving and that other guy. And I'm not a Tampa Bay guy. So, but somebody is that, and it is football season. So there you go, right? I mean, I don't know what to say, everybody. But it's tricky when you're dealing with one-on-one cards
Hmm.
because I don't know what they're worth. So, but that's the type of stuff that does come in my store. So, and there's merch that moves in and out all the time. And I would say every 60 days, I take down the whole store and then I figure out the merch.
Really?
So what's in there today is not going to be in there on August 21st.
Hmm.
And then it might come back in January. So that's also something to keep in mind, everybody, is I do a lot of that where I move a lot of stuff around. And right now I have, I think, 110 items that's valued at 25,000 is what I'm asking for it on a merch level. And I got way more merch than that. And I don't say that as a brag. I say that because I rotate a lot of merch around. So if you see something you like, it's up there for 60 days and then a new SKU comes in. And that SKU doesn't come back for another 60 or 90 or 120 days.
Hmm.
So you should buy stuff when in my store when you see it because it might not sell out. It just might not come back for a while. And the reason why I do that is because I got a lot of product I want to move.
Hmm.
And so if something's not moving today, I want to put something that will move. But I digress. Again, it's my eBay store. I could go on hours about this. And I'm more than happy to do it with anybody anytime. If you want me on your show and you want to talk about this and the theory behind it, there is a rational thought process behind this. So, but I digress. So, but yes, so I think we covered everything.
Good job.
So, Free flowing Fridays, guys. If you want to come on, you want to shoot shit, you want to talk about anything you want to talk about, that's what we do here. Typically, I'm going to be buzzed, and that's what we're going to do. So that's the plan. I was sobering up a little bit, but I wasn't too bad, hopefully. And I will catch you all next Friday with somebody else or whatever happens. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But yes, that's going on, and we're all rooting for Buffalo tomorrow. So welcome to the club, everybody. Welcome to the club.
I will root for you. We'll see.
Peace, everybody.